Today I'm going to show you how to look at a remote that's not working, open it up, and see if you can fix it. First, you'll start by prying it open. Take any sharp tool, a knife would work. I have a little spudger tool here, and let's crack her open and see what's wrong. Just like that. Set this aside. So here we can see on the circuit board these joints. Let me get this in camera. These joints here, here, and one on this side over here have failed. So I'm going to take the battery out, clean up as much of the old solder as I can, and put some new solder down. Let's get to work. Now let's try to remove this piece. I think it's only being held on by this one corner over here. So let's heat it up. Pop it off. There we go. So now, that's what it looks like. We got this spot here, this big pad, this little one. We got a little bit of braided wire here, desoldering braid, and this will help remove some of the old solder. Just put it on top, heat it up. Do the same thing here. Let's clean some of this up. We don't have to get all of it, but you want to make sure you still have the holes that are open to allow for these points here to go back inside. Got a little bit of isopropyl alcohol. The higher the percentage, the better. I'm just going to clean up some of these spots just to remove any of the old flux. Clean up this battery contact. Get rid of any of the junk that's built up over the years on it. Okay. And I got a little bit of flux here. So this will help keep the joint clean and free of oxidation. So I'm going to squeeze a little bit out just to get it started because we don't need much. Just put a little bit in there. This step is optional. It'll probably work just fine without it. But I have some, so I'm going to use it. That's what we're going to do. Got a little fan to turn that on, which helps because you don't want to breathe in any of the fumes. So make sure you do it in a well-ventilated area. I'm going to do the big one first, just to kind of stabilize it. So I'm going to heat up the pad really good. Because you want to get the joint hot first before you apply the solder. You can kind of look and see that the solder is starting to melt. So now if I just touch the pad, it should take and wick the solder right on it. Like that. That looks pretty good. Should hold it. Now I'm going to do the same for the other joints. I'm just going to put it on the back side. Put a little bit of solder here. It'll heat up. As soon as it's hot, you'll feel it. That. And we'll do the other side. Heat it up. See it melting. Some solder. Okay, now you take a look and make sure it's all the way down as far as you can. It looks pretty close. Let's look at the back side, and you can see you have these little holes. You got to make sure those are full. So I'm going to reflow the top and put a little extra in. They're almost there. So let's heat this up. And some more. The same thing here. I gotta make sure that joint is complete all the way on the other side. And there we go. We can see the pads are full. Now let's clean up some of the leftover flux, and we'll clean up the pads on the back. Okay, and with the back open already, it'd be a good idea to clean all of these copper pads just to make sure there isn't any junk on them, because that will interfere with your buttons from working correctly. So again, I'm just using the isopropyl alcohol. Clean everything off really good. And it wouldn't be a bad idea to also clean these buttons, which I believe are a little graphite, which completes the connection on your circuit board. Just like that. Make sure everything is nice and dry. Do a double check of everything. Okay. Put this back in, that side down. Actually, put the battery in first. Make sure the seat's in there. Put it in. Snap it back together. And that's all there is to it. Take it outside, make sure it works.